Steph, obviously not the results in which you wanted tonight, but still had a moment to make NBA history. You've tied Kobe Bryant rather as the second player to score 60 points over the age of 35. I don't want to date you or anything like that. Second game of a back-to-back. What type of zone were you in tonight? You know, trying to get your team this victory and having such a phenomenal performance.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That was his last game?
Yep.
That's special. Granted, we lost. It's just one of those things you kind of feel as you go, knowing we're on a back-to-back, coming in late, trying to do whatever you can to keep our team in it, just make shots, take what the defense gives you, force the issue if you feel it. I think in that fourth quarter, we were very decisive on just trying to get me, good looks, create some confusion. Thankfully, a bunch of them went in. I wish that last one would have went down and had a good look at it. But it's frustrating, obviously, not coming away with the win, knowing a couple plays here, a couple plays there. It's a different outcome, and we're celebrating an individual performance like that, but just adds to the frustration of our season.
Steph, you had another 20-point quarter. That's up to 45 now, the most in NBA history. How do you determine when to just take over and then when to facilitate?
There's a kind of a subconscious feel of the game, knowing you can be more aggressive to get to your spots, and you might not see as much resistance, and it's just a matter if you make or miss. The rest of it's just feeling the flow of the game. And I think at a certain point, when you hit a couple and you get good looks at the rim, you're gonna kind of come back to those with the mindset of being aggressive to score. And there are certain games, we didn't have much going. Lester played well, shot the ball well, but from three, we were struggling a little bit as a team. So there is a certain point when you see the score, see the fourth quarter, let's go.
Steph, 2 questions. What does it mean to you when you come out on an opposing field and see fans start to turn and actually cheer for you as you do what you do? And second of all, how has your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ helped you as you navigate through a tremendous career, being a dad, being a parent, and also now moving into PGA golf as well?
My faith, it guides me in everything. It's not really a result on what happens on the court. I'm just blessed to have this stage to shine a light and hopefully be some type of inspiration to anybody that watches me, knowing I've been given some amazing gifts and trying to use them to the best of my ability, whatever I do. And then to your point about being in an opposing arena and having the turnout that we do and the support, it's easy to find energy, with that type of response. And I never take any of that for granted, knowing, the ball will stop bouncing at some point. And this is definitely special, something that, the ultimate gratitude every time I get to step foot on the floor.
Does it feel like it was wasted tonight, what you did, in some ways? Is that too strong a way to put it? Or?
You can describe it however you want. Any game that you have, even way back when I first had 54 in the Garden, we lost. That's the only feeling that you really worry about. Obviously, it's a fun ride when you're shooting the ball the way that you are and trying to get to the finish line and, like I said, have a W to show for it. If that last runner goes in, it's a different story. But it sucks to not have something to show for it, especially the way we all fought, given everything we had in the tank. With the back-to-back and everything that we went through.
How bigger picture, where are you at right now with where you guys are?
It's tough because you look out. We've had so many guys out. It's kind of a revolving door. Wiggs goes out at halftime. J.K. fouls out in the fourth quarter. I think at one point it's really cool to see a different look. I was out there with Trace, Lester, Gee, and Brandon Bajemski. those guys are taking steps and building confidence. I'm pretty sure if anybody asked, would you be out there with those 4 guys at some point in the regular season, you probably would have said no. But we still had a chance to win. Like, that's the challenge of this year. It was an entirely different 5-man unit that we'd never seen, all season. So you're trying to adapt and allow that youthful energy to help us, try to get over the hump. So it's been the nature of our season all year. What it was supposed to look like hasn't really materialized for consistent stretches. But, again, you can only be in the present. That's the challenge that we have to make this season salvageable. We're still 4 games under 500. I'm still motivated. Just gotta stick with it.
You had the quote a couple of weeks ago, kind of the insanity quote that was taken as kind of, you may be indicating you think a trade may need to happen. I mean, it's deadline's nearing at this point. Where do you think something's?
I mean, the rest of that quote was, it's up to us as players to perform, play at the level that we're supposed to, so that those conversations and decisions maybe a little easier. And obviously, I'm not a GM. I'm not in that position where I'm getting asked that every single day. My job is to go out there and perform. The closer you get to it, it's the nature of the NBA. You can't be naive and act like, calls aren't being made wherever it is. But for us as players in the locker room, you have to be able to control what you can control. And until it's, said otherwise or decisions are made, like, it's up to us to go out and perform and hold our ground as a team that's, a legitimate team that can win. And if you're not, then you approach things differently when the opportunity presents itself.
Steph, you got an opportunity to work out with Trey over the summer, and just what are your thoughts on what you've seen him as a player grow? And of course, the city of Atlanta, they say that he's been snubbed as an All-Star. Just your thoughts on his growth and him being left off the All-Star team.
He's continued to get better, perform his numbers. The All-Star there's a lot that goes into it, from the votes, from fans, media, coaches. It's a competitive element, at each position, trying to, be selected every year. I told him after the game, it'll all come back to him if he continues to approach the game the right way, play with joy, don't let it build any type of resentment. Because he's not acknowledged, I'm sure there's a couple injuries on the East, and it might not be the way that he wanted to get in, but he'll be there in Indiana being represented. And like I said, if you continue to approach the game the right way, if you continue to work at your craft, you continue to do what he's doing, it'll come back to him. My first year, or the year before I first made it, you get that snub tag. It's kind of like a chip on your shoulder, and it's a motivator. He can use it, that energy, but I'm sure he'll be there.
All right, last one, Sam.
Circling back to Lester for a second, how have you seen his game mature recently?
He's getting an opportunity to play. And you saw tonight, he plays with ultimate confidence. He can shoot the hell out of the ball. He's taking defensive assignments and, that one-on-one matchup serious and trying to impact the game that way, using his energy in the right direction. He played amazing tonight. He played amazing yesterday, taking what's there for him and just playing with ultimate confidence, however many minutes he's out there, whatever he's asked to do. So it's great to see guys rewarded for their patience and their hard work behind the scenes that nobody really gets to see.